You're still in the shitty light. Yo, you wore white?
That's what I had on. That's what I said. Does it involve getting dirty?
I mean...
And you didn't say no. And you said, well, I'll give you gloves.
I did say I'd give you gloves, but...
Well, what are you doing?
I didn't think you had white.
Yeah.
Alright, so John just left. We were here doing some measuring and whatnot and marking out for the rear end. I got our lines and everything figured out. The other day I went to the junkyard. I would have filmed, but it was a tsunami, so that was fun. And I got me two right side axles for the 8.8. And our brilliant plan is, because in this project I don't need it to be... I want to put the axle as close, or the center section of the pumpkin as close as I can to the center of my car. Yeah, I don't know if you can see, there's a line here where it changes color. That's how far it goes into it normally. We are taking that extra and we're going to cut it off and slide it in to the pumpkin in order to give this extra room. So realistically, we needed to take off 90 mil in order to make this side short enough to put our pumpkin and our pinion in the middle of our Subaru. So, in order to get close, because what we need to take off to get to where we need to be was, what was it, 60... hold on, let me look at my, got a piece of paper that tells me all these things. 68 mil. So we need to take 68 mil off of this side in order to make it match this side perfectly. But I need 90 mil in order to make the pinion sit in the dead center of the car, with the rear end centered in the car, because of the way it's set up. So the difference in the drive shafts over there is 11 mil, a little more than 11 mil. It's almost 12 mil of not being used area on the teeth here. There's 11 mil that basically doesn't go all the way in to your spider gears and everything. So what we're going to do is take an extra 11 mil off of this side, which then puts us at 79 mil, which puts us 11 mil off of dead center, which is not a lot, and I can work with that with the drive shaft coming down the tunnel that I'm probably gonna have to modify a bit anyhow. So that's where we're gonna set. This way I can also, I'll cut the 11 mil off of here, which is technically just the C-clip, and then we'll have to put a C-clip eliminator on it, which is gonna be a little tricky because no one makes a C-clip eliminator for Explorer rear end, so I don't know what I'm gonna do there exactly yet. Worst case scenario, I could take this thing to a machine shop and get them to mill in another C-clip hole at the end of the deal there. I don't know, I can order custom axles if it comes down to it. But as of right now, this is my plan to get at least in a roller and go from there. I mean, I spent 40 bucks on that axle over there, so it is not the end of the world if I destroy it in the pursuit of science. But yeah, so that's the plan. We're gonna, I'm gonna cut all this crap up and go from there. I'm probably not gonna videotape the cutting and whatnot. I'll check in with you guys once I get to the next part of it, and we'll go from there. I also got these 3-inch C-channels right here. Now this is what we're gonna use in order to make sure it's all set up and straight. We basically clamp one on top and one on bottom, and that gives us our straight line to make sure everything's straight and plumb and square and all those, you know, keywords. Once I cut this side. So this is what I'm cutting out right here. If I'll get it to focus, there you go. And you can see here I've also marked a straight line and put 2 slices here. This will be my reference mark, essentially, when I put them together, to know that I clock this in the exact right position. If you guys want to see exactly how they do this in the Fab Forms on YouTube, the guys do a great job of showing you guys everything you need to do, and way better job than I'm about to. But yeah, check them out. I'll put a link in the description. So, go ahead and get this going, and I will check back in with you guys once I make some progress, or I'll never check back in because I ruined it, and we'll just never talk about this again. Hopefully not that one. Alright, so I got good news and, well, not good news, but not really bad news either, it's just news. So, as you can see, I got it all faced off. We got our line marks pretty well lined up. And we got a nice, no gap, tight. Everything's on and good to go. The problem is that over here, when we measured from the outside machine face, which you're supposed to, out here, to the machine face right here, which was 439 inches, or millimeter, I want to say it was. Yeah, 439. Over here, John and I measured from inside machine face to inside not machine face. And that threw our measurements off about 8 mil. So now that I have done everything up and I took my measurement, because John's not here, I take it from here to here, and I'm 8 mil out, and I can't figure out why. So yeah, it looks great, but it's 8 mil out. So it's okay. I'd rather be 8 mil proud than 8 mil shy. So obviously, not the end of the world. I just got to take it out of it. But it did leave me some time to play with it and get it faced perfectly and not have to worry about everything. I ended up using my little Craftsman freaking belt sander. Just clamped the part in the vise there and faced it off. Did the same thing there. So the cut went as well as could be expected with the death wheel on a cart. So it is, I mean, that is what it is. But so yeah, I just got to take out 8 mil, which I think I'm just going to probably take this end piece out here and put it in the vise and just hit it with the belt sander on like 36 grit. And it'll take a little bit while, but I get there slowly and creep up on it and end up getting exactly what I'm looking for and perfect like it is now. Because if it was the right measurement right now, all I had to do is bevel it and burn it in, it's good to go. So really stoked with how it's going. The process seems to be working pretty well. Like I said, I'll just creep up on it. 8 mil is not, it's a good bit, but I mean, it's not the end of the world. So I'll crip that off and keep going, and I'll let you guys know where we end up. All right, so I got it all clamped together. I got the bevel all cut in and ready to weld all the way around. You see I still got my clocking reference right there on both pieces, so I know they're where they're supposed to be. I take all my measurements. I'm 428 millimeters from here to here, the outside space to here, which is exactly 11 mils shorter than this one, because we are 439 over there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the welder set up. This is the rear end that has the, what is it, the .188 thickness tubes instead of the .225 or whatever it is. Basically, it's a 3/16 tube instead of 1/4 inch, which is fine for what we're doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this burned. Well, so what I'll probably end up doing is running a tack here and here, and the same on the other side. And then I'll take my jig, turn it, clamp it again, do some more just to make sure. And once I get it all tacked, then I'll double check my measurements once more. And then when that's all good, I will burn her in. So I'll let you guys see it when I'm all done. All right, so I got it all welded up. You can see if it folds, yep. So we gotta weld it in quadrants, like I was saying earlier, so it doesn't warp. Did the same thing in the tubes, just for extra strength. Welded them in quadrants. Came out pretty decent. So now I'm just gonna take a little 36 grit and clean this up nice and smooth. Focus. We'll grind that up real smooth, make it look nice. That was the whole point of the bevel, so we get good penetration and good hold even after I go ahead and grind off all that extra. So yeah, I'll go ahead and get that cleaned up, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm all done. Alright, So, got her all back together, closed up, all the gears are in. I did chop down the C-clip on this axle so it would fit in far enough, and it all fits in and the clearances look good. So right now the only thing keeping that on is the brake here. This is the only thing stopping it from sliding out. But for what we're doing, that's fine for right now. It's not gonna be the end of the world. If you'll notice, as I just did, that, well, I noticed a little bit ago, the brakes are on backwards. Because, you know, there's the front. So yeah, no, I totally messed that up. Didn't think I could put it on backwards, but I had it all together by the time I figured it out. So for mock-up, it's not gonna matter where it's at. Because right now, I don't know if I showed you this, but it's all smooth and cleaned up and nice. I should wire wheel those, but it is what it is. So yeah, so John's coming over. In fact, I think he just got here. And we're going to stuff this thing on the car and try and get an idea where it's going to sit for the 4-link. But, alright, so that's where I'll let you see what it looks like once we get in there. So, we're going to take this, which I know did you notice the brakes are on backwards?
Are they?
Yeah, they are. This one should be over there, and that one should be over there. They're swapped. But,
Doesn't matter.
huh?
Why does that matter?
Is that one spinning?
No. No. Whole thing spins. There you go.
Yeah, there it goes. Well, it's an open diff, so it's a one-wheel spinner. So yeah, got it all together.
Not like the Z.
Not like the Z, no. The Z does 2 wheels. All right, so here's my brilliant idea.
Well, that won't be any good.
It won't be. That's gonna have to be addressed later. But I have to figure out and get the C-clip eliminators machined.
Yeah.
And then put a spool in it. I can't do that until I get the C-clip eliminators machined. So this is going, right now the only thing holding this axle in right now is the brake. Because the C-clip I had to cut off in order for it to go in far enough. Which in fact, it needs to go in so if you push it all the way in, it's in far enough to where it lines up perfect. The dimensions from the plate to here, everything's perfect, right? Mm-hmm. But you can't put a groove in it and get it to come in, and it's got to suck out. So I don't know how we're going to do that without putting a cap on the end.
Did you weld that? Yeah.
I did.
So what did you cut?
What do you mean?
Where's your cut?
That's a good question, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah, looks good. Can't even tell. Solid.
Yeah, that's the point. And then I'll run so on the bottom here I'm going to run basically a fucking brace. So it'll weld in here and go up to the bottom here, and then I'll do another one that comes
to keep it from twisting.
Yeah, well, there's ones to stop it from twisting and bowing and just straighten it up. But all right, so here's my brilliant idea. You know how we had that bullshit contraption to lift it up and in here last time?
Okay.
We used the straps.
All right.
I mean, that'll allow us to get it level and straight.
Yeah, but you can't do that till you cut out that horseshoe, right? Because it's got to go up higher, like this.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't actually. That's to go up on the suspension. We'll take it up to ride height, and then ride height is not. That's like compression height, all the way up.
Are you actually recording?
Yeah.
Hi.
You're just holding this for no reason.
Yeah, I figured.
Here, you want to watch yourself? We're not sponsored by them, and neither are you.
Right. True.
Wish we were.